Was this how it would end? Trapped, surrounded, my power lost. I deserved so much more. They were coming for me. Once I was their queen, now they would be my doom. Then, out of nowhere, new rift? It was different, fragile. I felt a trickle of power returning, barely there. Not enough to mind control even a single orc. Still, the rift offered an escape. As soon as I stepped through, I saw him, standing right in front of me with that ridiculous grin plastered across his face. I only had one thing to say. Run! Was it you?
Was what me?
The rift! Can't you feel the magic returning? Did you open it?
Nah, I'm more of a closer. Hey, aren't you that crazy lady that tried to kill me?
There's no time! The orcs are right behind me!
Orcs? Nice! Now you're talking my... talkie language thing. Last thing you'll ever see. This will be good. Treat time! What a mess! For you, old man. Bring it! A little present for you. I'm so clever and handsome. Let's roll. It has to be some sort of record.
If we want to die,
Hey, look! Another rift opened up. Thought I closed all those.
Where are we? What are these tunnels?
We're in the Dwarven Mines. It's where I work.
You're a miner now?
Not like I had an in-demand skill set beyond the whole kill orcs cast spells thing. Plus, turns out, people weren't exactly grateful when I shut off the magic juice. That's gonna leave a mark. Killing season. To reflect on my mistakes. Oh, who am I kidding? I didn't make any. Let's go! Killing season. Arrows for everyone. Thanks for me. Destiny. Why must you mock me? Rest in peace. Ready, aim, fire! Keep it coming! Whoa, elemental! I hear when you kill them, you just make more. One, 2, 5. Darn it, we lost count again. Nice. Orc pincushions coming right up. Keep it coming. Good times. Good times. palace for everyone. Heads are gonna roll! I live for mass orc killing.
Down below. We're on the stairs.
It'll hurt a lot. Killing season. Kill streak. They'll never see it coming. Let's go. Ooh, nice. More fun when you kill them all at once. They reached the bridge. to get real! I live for mass orc killing! I like this one. They reached the bridge! Dibs on the orcs!
They're on the stairs!
Kill streak! The orcs are escaping! Wipe your feet! Food fight!
Sappers on the way! He's down below!
Welcome to Kill Streak Pit. Population? No guess. They reached the bridge! Ooh! Nice! Ah!
On the stairs!
This'll slow them up. Treat time! kill streak! Sharp spikes meet tender toes. These orcs must die! Some sort of wreck. The horde is escaping! The horde is escaping to the valley! The horde is escaping! This will be good. Another sweet scum. Sapper's on the way! Welcome to Kill Streak. Population? Time to dance! Sometimes I almost feel bad for the orcs. Except, not really. One, two, five, run it, lost count. Picnic time! None shall pass! Trophy time! Whenever you guys are ready.
Down below.
They reached the bridge! Bring it! Watch out, snappers! I live for mass orc killing.
On the stairs.
time! What was I thinking? The combo! Whenever you guys are ready, Sapphire's on the way! The Orcs are escaping! The enemy is exiting the mines! What's your deal, anyway? Why'd you send all those orcs through the rift?
The Order mages were weak and old, unwilling to rule as they should. The Orcs were a tool to carve away the corruption and filth.
So, made your power trip, huh? I got it.
Last thing you'll ever see.
a sticky situation. All day! Oh, it's about to get real! They're on the bridge! They're escaping the mines! You have the right to remain silent! 1, 2, 5... Darn it, I lost count again. What's your deal, anyway? Why'd you send all those orcs through the rift?
The Order mages were weak and old, unwilling to rule as they should. The Orcs were a tool to carve away the corruption.
I was
So,
born
mage and
to
powers,
protect the
huh?
Order.
I got it.
Down the dance!
This'll hurt. Killing season!
They're on the bridge!
These rifts just keep popping up.
No matter. As more rifts appear, our powers grow. Together we will sweep the orcs aside.
Then what? Get married? Pop out a little army of war mage babies?
I would sooner rip your beating heart from your chest.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Wait, how long was I muted for? Wait, hello? Wait, what was the last thing that I just said? You've been muted this entire... Shut the fuck up. Wait, when did I... You were muted right after saying if we don't watch it. About watching a document. Oh, that was the last thing I said. Hold on. Wait.
Thoughts on the possible effects of the bombing in Wisconsin on a pro-life law?
Probably bad. Nobody should be...
Ready to go. We are the Orcs. Killer.
Ready for more!
I don't know.
Is that all you got? Stabbing time!
Yes. Nice vantage point.
Time to go to work.
Oh, thank you for the money. I just stole all of it. Okay. I think I'm probably just gonna watch. I think I'll just...
Hold them back!
I forgot how to watch this thing, man. I don't want to. I don't want my channel. Ooh, fuck. Oh, he's screaming. Who knows?
I'm sorry. This is a digression. But did you see when
Wipe your feet!
If you were meaner to him, I think you would have gotten less shit in this particular situation. I mean, I wasn't mean to Gideon at all. I didn't even care about what Gideon was doing. I cared more about like him having a conversation about what white separation is.
None shall pass!
Bro, you need to learn. Okay, I've upgraded myself. Okay, I'm better at this now. Okay, you need to learn how to speak to polite people. There has to be a way to show this guy has bad ideas without you having to demonize and vilify the fuck out of him. That's on you. As a political commentator who does this whole time, you should be able to figure out how you can make a polite person look like they have bad ideas. Okay? You gotta figure it out.
And liberals straight up are which by the way he called me a liberal. From what I understand, what it is.
It's not funny. 98% of America still uses liberal.
Let's do it again.
Conservative or Republican to mean right. You're, like only you crazy online kids, and I guess college kids now, although it's getting bigger and bigger, use left to mean or liberal to mean like center.
Ready for more!
Basically his assessment is that conservatives are openly racist and liberals are like secretly racist. Conservatives are openly racist, but liberals are secretly racist, which he's right. Right. I agree with that.
No, you don't agree with that. Oh, there's so much tricky language games being played here. Hassan, when he says liberals are secretly racist, he's also talking about people like you. But Hassan is saying like, oh, well, he's saying liberals are secretly racist, but I'm not liberal. I agree with you. No, people in America, I don't know if you guys know this, liberal means left, conservative means right. That's the only liberal actually means left. That's what it means in the United States. In the United States of America, liberal means it might be.
Now, how many was that?
Nah. Conservative, Democrat, liberal, Republican. That's what
Is that it?
so when somebody says, I think liberals are racist too,
This'll
you're
roll up.
You're like, yeah, bro, I agree with you. No, you don't, you dumb motherfucker. He's talking about you.
None shall pass!
Why you call me a liberal and then said liberals are racist? Wait. Oh no. Yeah, no. He said poggers as being like a conservative. Gideon, what the fuck? Anyway, the Chotter's comment had poggers in lowercase, so it didn't show the emote. He didn't know. Yeah. Dude, every
Big
micro,
misunderstanding.
like every like little
Yes!
but he
Wipe
did
your
not
feet.
know, like this is literally right underneath it. You know what I mean?
Where's the enemy?
Like it's like what we
Bring it!
dude, they're like fucking sharks. You know, Lil Xan was right, dude.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
The average Republican slash conservative person to understanding. So many average okay, agenda.
Whoa! There has to be some sort of
People on Twitter saying shit like, hey, like someone was like crazy saying shit like, yeah, Russia stole our election, hacking voting machines and shit like that. There were people saying stuff like that. So when people on the left are saying stuff like that, it's not really that crazy then to believe, okay, well, I think left-leaning people rigged the election. You're kind of like on equal footing there. So like the more insane you're going to be, like the more insane you like boomerang the other side around to be. You have to be like, you have to be reasonable. Otherwise, everybody's going to be unreasonable.
A room full of cloud sharks, dude.
That's what. No, I like.
All right, let's
I
hear it.
literally could not like do that. Like do this. I just every day I say like things that could be taken
Yeah.
horribly.
No, the
On
problem.
purpose.
That's why I made an alt account too. Like, dude, it's because like I can't even tweet like fucking sarcastic shit or like shit posts in the same way that
Yeah.
you do because like once you read a search, once you reach like a certain level, like no one wants to be charitable at all. Like no one will.
Bro, it's because you say actually stupid fucking shit constantly. It's not because of jokes you're trying to say. It's because you're an actual brainless fucking moron. Like,
So, I thought only
see it
the
as a
oldest
joke,
living
and they take everything I
warmaids
say
could open
seriously. Like I'm 100% serious. Like I'm making serious
Exactly
political
are you
commentary.
implying?
Yeah, that's why I'm
The
happy I'm
last two
fucking
war
capped out.
mages,
Like even
I
when I
know.
said like
They're
Roseanne was right, I'm sure
older
someone's gonna be like,
than me.
fucking piece of shit.
Lil Xan
Not
destroyed
like
his car. You
ancient
realize?
or anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Finally
he's still
racist
looking good.
behind my back.
Really?
What the fuck
Tell
is he
me
gonna do
more.
behind?
I think I've
He,
made
like,
my point here.
Literally did not understand. Oh, because okay, I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about how like racist white people aren't like overtly racist in most instances to black people in their face because they're like afraid of black people, and And I, as someone who's like super white passing, like I've been involved in, I think I was talking about like my personal experience of like, my personal experiences with like my black friends and how the dynamic in college and stuff would be dramatically different, where I would hear people say some like really suspicious shit that they normally never would say around black people. And I think that's precisely what I was talking about. Bro, you're white? No, I know I am. That's the point. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying specifically that like white people that saw me as a white person, and I am a white person, were very comfortable about saying some racist shit around me that they would never say around black people, because they're like afraid of black people. I said this exact same thing yesterday. This is why I enjoyed being red pilled. At least I knew they were racist outwardly, unlike leftists. Yeah.
Man.
Racism is only when I get called the N-word to your face. No, I mean,
The
I
true
don't
question
think
isn't how do we bring conservatives over to the left, but rather the left back into reality. I'm a psych/politics major. You pulled me out the Bosch/Hassan pipeline a ago now. It scares me how susceptible people are to their changes.
Thanks, buddy. It's like the problem is just that like the minority left people got so loud on social media and dominated like so much of like the political discourse. And, like the average Republican probably thinks the average Democrat is like AOC. Even AOC has gotten so much better. AOC is not I mean, all the online people will start on their sell out. So what are you gonna do?
They act differently when black people are around. They act differently when black people aren't around. It's really embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know why that was like that aggressive for him to come at me with that. Because like, there's a reason why these motherfuckers wear hoods. You know what I mean? Like at the rallies, they don't want to show their faces. That dichotomy is like right there in front of your face. Like the reason why they do that is specifically because they don't want like their public persona to be unkempt.
Isn't that
Yeah. You gotta figure that like
Exactly how you
most
imply it.
clan chapters are
You're the
like
last
60%
two war
informant
mages.
now, right?
Oh, anyway, okay, let me finish
Find my
this.
bag. Anything, he should have got the whole gang and like kicked me off his property. I was on his yard.
not like
Before he wanted to go
ancient or
crazy, he had every
anything.
right.
You're
Could have said it was
still pretty
self-defense and stuff like
Really?
that. But no,
Tell me
he came
more.
outside,
I
we had a
think
civil
I've made my point
discussion.
here.
Wait, why is he defending this dude who's like, I'm a white?
He's not defending it too. The problem is that when you spend so much time oh god, I don't even like treat time. All of this feels so obvious to me. Like I feel like I'm speaking it like I'm saying like guys, 2 + 2 is 4, 3 + 3 is 6, guys, 5 + 5 is 10, 10 + 10 is 20. That's what it feels like when I have these conversations, okay? When you spend all day dehumanizing sweet all day. When you spend all day with horrible people, you're like boss, they wanna kill you, they wanna do these horrible things, and then you meet one of them in real life. And they at least have a conversation. Image versus be versus the reality of what they are. Now, at least have a conversation in his yard. Right? Now it feels like right? Like, are they not actually? Like, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Let's roll. I don't know what else to do at this point. Like, I'll just anybody like I've been with so many motherfuckers. Son and Bosch, any other that I brought on Twitter, like over and over and over and over. I'll talk to anyone. Like, don't sit here and accuse me because I hate people. Yeah, also, I don't think I've ever, and before I probably have said it before I got mad, but generally speaking, when I was in college, I don't say that leftists are evil. I don't think I've ever said that these people are evil.
That's crazy, dude. I didn't realize he was like actually fucking. I thought he was defending the mayor. Like, that guy he's talking to is literally the neighbor of the KKK. And he openly in that conversation straight up fucking says he hates you more than
Sweet!
Obviously, like, this guy was talking to, you know, bad guy.
oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I was saying fucking systemic inbreeding. That's what happens.
Sometimes I almost feel bad for the orcs. Except, not really.
Like, that's why, like, bro, I'm not saying you're a racist or nothing like that. But what I'm saying, with everything that you're saying in this video and what your chat's saying, I feel is way more racially motivated than anything he said.
Dude, why would the fuck would my chat be?
What's that?
Warning! Warning alert! Are more like probably prefer that to like a chat. So you don't understand that what you're doing is engaging in the destruction of your own race, and you're just too stupid to understand it. So hear me, the enlightened white liberal that lived behind 15 different gates to get to my $2.5 million penthouse that my parents rent out for me from their $73 million mansion is going to tell you exactly how you need to handle these minorities, right? It's that type of like white liberal, white elite liberal concept. Now maybe that might not be true. Basically, but I was black.
1, 2, 5. Turn it! We lost count.
I mean, always. But first of all,
I mean, like, maybe we'll get into it tonight when we watch this fucking 2,000 Mules video. But I'm not aware if they're saying anything recently like that. Most of it was like soy fucking culture war shit or whatever.
Let's roll!
one of the best, like probably the only political chat.
Oh wait, what?
One of the best, like probably the only.
More fun when you kill them all at once.
Other part of this shows me
Job.
which is I didn't really see. Yeah, he said I'm more raised than the guy who's literally in the clan. Like he is unironically making an argument that like I am more raised than the guy who's in the clan.
So why not take a second to like stop and think for 1 second, right? You need to be able to go one of two ways. Either one, grow a backbone and say, JD, let's go. You're dumb. Say, don't be so scared. say it, like, bro, you're a dumb fuck. Or take a moment and be like, okay, well, how can you think that me, the guy that like supposedly fights for like, you don't want to take a side. If I go to the versus little kid, so like,
and he's saying like he's not saying there's a separation. Because I'm correct in saying one, two, five, round like knockout.
this guy is advocating content. This guy is literally telling you that you can't go to his church because it's a racially separated church, and that he wants to create white sections for white people, black sections for white people. I don't know how much more blatant you can get than that. Like, what the fuck? This guy is not masked on. This only mask this guy has on is his fucking KKK that he probably wears to church, and he will tell you if he does.
Step aside, young one.
Time to go away. It has to be some sort of record.
But then he fucking goes forward and and especially if I've like talked to someone in outside of like a on-camera situation, like I will usually assume that they're approaching a subject matter in good faith. He said, "I'm not calling you racist, but on in his chat comments are more racially motivated than the Grand Wizard's friend guy."
So he's saying like more obsessed with race, right?
Yeah,
like
I mean, classic.
Like
it's a classic conservative take, which is like liberals make everything, libtards make everything about race or whatever.
It's one of those things that's like they kind of don't realize how true it is. Because everyone in America, it's like how no
motivated by financial benefits too, though. Like a lot of people, especially when you're like, I mean, ultimately we're a brand, right? I'm a brand. Whether I like to see myself as that way, and I try not to conduct myself that way at all.
The instinct to dehumanize is
still
why the
brand,
left pretends Daryl Davis doesn't
basically,
exist.
what ends up happening is in that situation, like if someone is getting a lot of shit all the time, and it's like pretty easy to just be like, I'm positioning myself against this brand, right? And my brand is like, fuck Hassan. You can get a lot of people with like-minded, a lot of like-minded people to like jump on that train and be like, yeah, you're right. And I think what's going on here in this situation is like, in a weird way, the defense of this dude is like way worse than the original video itself, where he was like talking to him and whatever. By like saying I'm wrong, and by defending the fucking chinless inbred fuck over here, who literally said like I want to do Israel but for the whites, straight up, and said I'm not a segregationist, I'm a separationist.
I still can't believe Hassan thinks that the guy was trying to downplay his positions by saying that. Jesus.
And shitting on my historical analysis in regards to the Klan and the messaging that like white supremacist movements use. His video lacked any sort of historical analysis in regards to the Klan. That you added that, but that was the point of the video. Most racist town isn't that bad. Let's put hate aside. Exactly. So when he does that, he is in a weird way basically finding himself to do propaganda for the Klansman and his ideas. And I mean, I don't know. Call me a white savior if you think that that's addressing that with appropriate historical context makes me a white savior.
Dude, do you know what would be the funniest fucking shit in the world? This would Hassan would Imagine if like Hassan could start fights with like 1 or 2 more like black creators, and then they were to do like a huge fucking YouTube panel on whether or not Hassan is racist. You get like Abba and Preach, you get Gideon. There's got to be a couple other that he's like fought with. Dude, he would lose his fucking mind.
But like, I'm gonna do that no matter what.
Right, right.
Too mad? Oh shit!
I recommend the Patrick CC video I made about Drake and Josh. I've actually been meaning to...
Host it? I don't I don't know if it would be appropriate for me to host that. Do you think it's worth it to kill all of these on night 1 if I can? Or if I get it low, will it be low HP on the next night? They all respawn. I should probably stagger their respawns. Would probably make the most sense. Yes, the HP persists between nights. Okay, so I should get them all like low.
Maximilian is gone. No one knows where he
Watch
is.
the loner box video.
He left the order. He left me with these children.
Oh no.
Born with
What
the ability
the
to use
fuck is
rift
this?
magic, Egan had
Another
no idea
socialist
how
jumping in to
powerful he
criticize
was.
Hassan? What is all this leftist on leftist
Kelsey
violence?
was the most
Did we
studious
learn
novice
nothing
in
when
the
the Social
order,
Democrats
but she
murdered
lacked
Rosa Luxemburg? Probably
control.
not. But leaving that aside, I want to start this by saying that I don't hate Hassan. And although I think he does
I
deserve a
had
lot
to
of
test
criticism,
their
as this
capabilities.
video will hopefully show, I do think there should be a difference between addressing your political opponents compared to someone that you could consider as one of your own. So if you are here for some
real
brutal
ogre
takedown
would
where
have
I call
eaten you
Hassan
by
a dumb
now.
himbo or a
Sorry,
political
sorceress.
boy
You
or
will wish for that fate before
Mr.
long.
Baby Potato Head,
Think he's ever coming back?
I'm not going to be doing that.
Fuck, lame.
Wow.
Except from
It's like
just
you're
there
allergic
as
to
an
saying
example.
smart stuff.
In fact, I even owe
Come.
Hassan an apology.
Playtime is over.
A few weeks ago, one of my live stream segments included the following clip. The last time I was on Hassan's stream, I was streaming while I was watching Hassan's. He was watching the UN. He was watching the UN condemnation of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And the Chinese person was speaking, and Hassan's chat went fucking ballistic. Like, China simping. Like, tanky f***ing, like, no genocide, ooh-woo, f***ing, like,
Yeah, I'm
simping
ready.
for the CCP and shit. And he doesn't do anything about that. Clearly he doesn't, because I know he doesn't. I know Hassan doesn't believe in that stuff himself. I don't want to waste your time with the context here, so to put it briefly, the evidence I had for this claim was sketchy at best, especially given that I know Hassan has no love for tankies himself. Ascribing extreme ideologies to people, even if it's by proxy of their audience, is never something that should be done lightly. I apologize for jumping the gun, and
that
it's
is
something I'll do my
definitely
best to
not in
avoid in
order.
the future.
What?
But enough of this polite, bromantic, Mickey Mouse bullshit. I know you people want to be entertained, so
You are
let's
correct,
make some
Kelsey.
arguments.
That rift
This
is
whole
filled.
flim-flam started during the
Quickly,
lead-up
get
to the
traps
Russian
placed and
invasion
stay
of
on the
Ukraine.
move. I will
On
instruct
February
you
the
further when I
11th,
can.
Joe Biden warned that
How do
Putin
we
could
hear
attack
her
the
when we
country
can't
as soon
see
as the
her?
16th
Telepathy,
and urged any
genius.
Americans in Ukraine to
Now,
leave as
let's
soon
try
as
out these
possible.
traps for
This
real.
was interpreted by many people as inconclusive intelligence, and officials in Europe had taken a more skeptical position, with one saying they refused to buy it, and another,
Ready to
when asked
fight.
if an invasion was imminent, said it was difficult to say. Hassan,
Imagine doubting U.S. intel. Piece of shit.
Enemies are preparing to breach
was
one of our
similarly
gates.
skeptical himself.
The door is down.
I'm live and alive, and we got a lot to talk about. I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh,
Here they come.
Shocked to find out. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that and a bunch of other stuff, so get in now.
Now, at this point, I would say he wasn't making any huge mistakes. Invasion technically wasn't imminent at the time. However, when the given date had passed and US intelligence continued to insist that the risk of invasion was very high, Hassan seemed to grow increasingly confident.
I think maybe I'll tell
Destiny.
my editors to do
We
this.
need to remove
but
the
I
white
think I'll just
names. They're bad Destiny. They ruin chat and devalue offline chat. They keep moving into offline chat. Only the good ones should be able to stay, but the rest have to go. Bonus me real or borg.
Wasn't it British intel that blew the lid on it first, Destiny? I don't think that's true. But I'm pretty sure British intel and US intel are probably always have similar information regarding this kind of stuff because they're both part of Five Eyes, right?
Change like, I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia. Every day.
Now
to make sure that the wishes of these weirdo like good. I'm actually a sock
More
them,
enemies
and you're
on the way.
tanky idiots on the internet. Will change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine, and it's like day 11 at this point.
Then, on February 21st, Putin officially recognized the independence of 2 separatist regions in Ukraine and ordered Russian troops to enter the country under the role of peacekeepers. A term that hasn't aged especially well. But why am I starting with this? Hassan already admitted he was wrong here, didn't he? Well, kind of. The next day, he uploaded a video entitled, "I Was Wrong About Ukraine," where he does concede that he didn't expect an invasion. However, in the first 60 seconds, he goes on to once again challenge the US State Department, this time on their warnings about Russia moving beyond the separatist...
Okay, wait, stop. There's a reason why James Bond is British, okay? British intel is good, okay? Chill. Now, if you want to put like Israeli intel on the way, but come on, all right. The bongers can handle their shit, all right. I was going to be watching whatever.
What is your prescription for saving local elections? They have basically faded into obscurity as the public has become transfixed by federal elections.
Maybe Dad's going to be watching whatever. You know James Bond is good. It's basically
regions and attacking.
There's been a lot of information that has been wrong, completely wrong. And there's still a lot of information that the Western State Department is pumping out by way of mainstream media about like Russia is going to go and overtake Kiev and they're going to go into Ukraine. Yeah, I would look like Tim Pool after that 49 state landslide L if, you know, there was a active bombing currently happening on Kiev and like Ukrainians were being murdered left and right at this moment.
Oh no, damn, even I haven't heard all the fucking statements that he made.
I would be that way if America was like, we're going with a full-throated, this is a full-blown invasion, and yet it hasn't happened.
Oh no, wait, I do remember this. This is why I got so scared when Hassan tweeted out, "Come on guys, it's not like Russia's launching nukes at anybody." I was like, oh no, it's over.
It hasn't happened.
You were on holiday, you missed A-tier content? Yeah, maybe.
So this isn't a great look, but I don't want this to just be another video gloating over the usual collection of viral Hassan clips. He's already shown a willingness to admit when he's wrong, and I'm sure he would have no problem doing the same when it comes to Kiev, if he hasn't done it already. But for me, being wrong isn't really the problem so much as why you're wrong. If I had to guess, he was probably wrong in this case because he wanted to take a position that contrasted from the US State Department.
Yeah, it's way more intense than the usual training
Maybe he just took a skeptical position, which was reasonable at the time, but then naively took it to a level of absolute confidence. Either way, the more important thing, at least in my opinion, is the process. It's how you arrive at your conclusions. And in this video, I want to take a look at Hassan's process, how he forms his arguments, and then we'll see if we can find any problems.
Let's do this.
Who do we trust? First off, Hassan is a difficult creator to respond to. Mostly because his content consists of live stream uploads, some of which are over 3 hours
They've
long.
broken through a gate!
It is tempting to just make a video using viral clips from those streams. There will be one or two
Here
of
they
those,
come!
but I wanted to go a bit further than that. Last month, Hassan did a reaction stream to a video called How the Gravel Institute Lies to You About Ukraine by a video essayist called Adam Something. Now,
oh no.
worry, all right. This video is not going to be my response to Hassan's response to Adam's response to the Gravel Institute. Instead, I chose this video because I think it gives a really interesting look into how Hassan processes information.
Interesting.
The video is over 3 hours long, but I will timestamp each segment I use, and I will link the VOD in the description just in case you're worried about context. So,
all right, now or
firstly,
never.
I want to look at Hassan's approach to the
More
annexation
enemies
of
on the
Crimea.
way.
Namely,
Check that out.
this fairly well known.
The enemy army is attacking on another
feeling
front.
bad about the Crimean annexation
breached
does not
another
change
door.
the reality of the Crimean annexation being a completely justifiable act.
Oh no! What was he even? I know what he was thinking at the time. He probably read some of the things that I did. It's a complicated situation. A lot of the people in Crimea were ethnically Russian. They held some sort of referendum afterwards, showing that they wanted to be Russian. So yeah, it probably looks like it sounds pretty justified.
One for team order.
By the Russian government, okay? So that's it.
Sorry, hold on.
Let her rip.
That's getting yoinked directly.
Yeah, I'm ready.
More enemies on the way.
What is Gideon's Twitter? Is it Gcon? Gideon 6?
British intelligence is nothing compared to the fortitude of Taliban intelligence. You think 007 is impressive? Wait until the pin drops on Special Agent RP Stovall, quadruple OL. He lives in the walls. The last sound you hear before that. Ooh.
I'm getting the hang of this. I'm feeling this one. Let's get it.
So, there's a lot to unpack here, but before we get into that...
This is a little unhinged. We're watching two videos.
I can do this.
Here's a summary of Hassan's position. 1. He argues that the referendum was quote-unquote bullshit and the results were rigged. But 2. He also argues that polling data before and after the referendum showed that the annexation was in line with the wishes of the Crimean
Thanks for being the
people.
voice of reason on that.
And 3.
Your food takes are
the
trash,
history
though.
and demographics
you.
of Crimea provide a strong case for the peninsula becoming part of Russia. When it comes to that second point, here is Hassan's justification.
More enemies on the way.
By the way, this 95.5% result is bullshit. I know this because, as I mentioned in my original recent video, a Russian state agency...
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's actually 67.5 if you look at the Gallup polls leading up to the f***ing annexation of Crimea, and like 80% if you look at Western polling done in the British region in the aftermath of the annexation.
So here we have 2 points. A Gallup poll before the annexation showed 67.5% of Crimeans favoring secession, and the numbers after the annexation moved up to over 80%. Let's start with the first one. I couldn't find a poll that gave this exact number he mentions, but I did find one from 2008 showing that 63.8% of Crimeans wanted to secede and join Russia.
Anyone else?
Although this poll was conducted by the Razumkov Center in Ukraine, not by Gallup. Okay, so I know this seems very nitpicky, but I promise I'm doing this for a good reason. If he did just cite the wrong agency, that's not a big deal. But the point is, Hassan has said that he has some degree of trust for polling done by Gallup. Just keep that in mind for now.
Uh-oh.
Because a few minutes later in the stream, one of Hassan's chatters linked a poll from 2013 arguing that Crimean support for joining Russia was only 23%.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what? In 2013, a Gallup poll showed Crimea joining Russia only had 23 support. I'm confused. What are you referring to?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. You trust Gallup? Is that what he's going to say?
I'm referring to the only study that wasn't directly conducted by the CIA when I'm talking about it. Like Gallup, which still has Western biases, but certainly is, I think, a little bit more honest than a public opinion survey from, you know, the International Republican Institute with funding from the United States Agency for International Development.
Okay, so we don't trust Gallup. And his chat just, yeah, his chat just eats it all up. They just eat it all up. No, hold on.
Sorceress, if only the oldest living war mage can open rifts, wouldn't that mean...
Yes, I mean, dude, I agree that Russia today is like,
he is still alive.
you know,
Why would
propaganda.
I pushed back on this once because this dumb motherfucker said it. I wanted him to go on more,
I
and
know
he didn't.
rifts
Shut the
provide
fuck up.
magic,
That's
but
smart. That
this
ate in
magic
conversation. A
is
lot of people
not
here
a
jumping into
positive
dumb
force.
shit, okay? Do not ever let some dipshit fucking lefty tell you RT is state-funded, state-sponsored media. You mean like the New York Times? You mean like CNN? You mean like the Washington Post? No, you stupid motherfucker. I mean that Russia Today, the organization, literally gets its marching orders from the Kremlin, from Moscow, from Putin. Probably not.
I hope that works.
But like, it is state-controlled and state-funded media.
Yeah,
State-controlled,
good.
meaning that the state dictates the agenda, and state funding, meaning the money comes from the state.
That's
You
the
can have
stuff.
state-funded media that's not state-controlled media. So like the BBC, for instance. The BBC is state-funded, I believe. The British government
Enemies
funds the
are
BBC.
preparing to
but
breach one
the
of our
agenda, what they
gates.
report on, is not
They've
dictated
broken
by the
through a
state.
gate.
Or with, I think NPR and PBS get public funds, but they're not
Here they
state-ran.
come.
They get to dictate their own agenda, right? CNN, the New York Times, Washington Post, these are not state-funded or state-directed. If you're a journalist, you can watch them on Twitter, fight amongst themselves, and argue about what they want to cover, right? Now, are there time points when, like, one of these media organizations is carrying water for an institution or carrying water for a political party? Sure, probably the BBC. Sure, but to say that it's the same, to say that this is on the same level as a state-funded, state-directed media organization, especially from an autocratic, quasi-fascist, or just full-on fascist regime, like, get the fuck out of here, okay? You're delusional. You are out of your fucking mind to say something so fucking stupid.
These little dudes are so fast.
Those are kobolds.
And then you
They'll also
literally
set off our
pointed to a
traps.
U.S. aid-backed study.
Right, so I'm just going to put this sentence up on the screen so we're not missing anything. Now, when Hassan expresses a degree of preference for Gallup polls, I wonder how he would feel then if he noticed that the poll he's laughing at was conducted by Gallup. Like, not only is it on the first sentence of the report, which is visible on his screen, it's also on the cover, which he was reading out loud.
Like Gallup, which still has Western biases, but certainly is, I think, a little bit more honest than a public opinion survey from, you know, the International Republican Institute with funding from the United States Agency for International Development.
And in case you didn't notice it, the chatter who sent him the link mentioned it too. Let's just think about what happened to medium rare OG when this happened. My guess is they will have heard Hassan citing a Gallup poll, Googled something like Gallup poll Crimea, clicked on the top result, found that the numbers were very far from what Hassan
More
was
enemies
saying,
on the way!
asked for clarification, and
Enemies
quite
are
politely, I should
attacking
say.
on another front.
And then just got
breached
blasted.
another door.
Like, Hassan, you were the one who brought up the Gallup poll. All this person did was look up your claim and ask you about it. I mean, which one is it? Is it that we trust the Gallup poll even though it wasn't conducted by Gallup, and we don't trust the poll which was conducted by Gallup because it also involved US aid? Are we operating on the premise now that everything coming out of US intelligence agencies is automatically wrong? Apart from when they successfully predicted the Russian invasion, of course. Now, to be clear, I'm not claiming to know which of these figures is the most accurate. More on that in a minute. But for now, let's look at Hassan's take on polls that were done after the annexation.
The Wall Street Journal, you see the same exact argument. If you look at the Financial Times, if you look at quite literally any news article from the West, okay, not just the East, but from the West, you will recognize that Crimea, straight the up, is in line with the decision made in the annexation, okay, in the fake, bullshit, phony voting that was conducted in the annexation. And for some reason, not a single person ever that wants to talk about Crimea ever brings that up. Ever. I don't know why.
So here he is completely correct that support for the annexation has been consistently high since 2014. One of those polls was even done by Gallup. But if he's wondering why people don't acknowledge that, I'd imagine it's because there are very obvious problems that come up when you're polling people in annexed territory. An article from 538 showed that polling results were incredibly volatile before the annexation and have only recently become more consistent because the Kremlin is now in a position where they can manufacture their own approval. Since 2014, the Crimean people have been subjected to levels of propaganda described as comparable to that of the Soviet Union, and with limited access to alternative sources. Some of Russia's political opponents in Crimea have already been outlawed, and pollsters have acknowledged that a range of intimidation tactics have made face-to-face polling increasingly difficult, especially for people with dissenting opinions. Meanwhile, up to 300,000 Russian citizens have moved to Crimea in the last 8 years, meaning that a poll today could reflect their opinions, but not those of the tens of thousands of Crimeans who fled during the occupation. This is why these results should at least be taken with a pinch of salt. And even if they were true, the idea of highlighting majority approval whilst the minority faces human rights abuses hardly seems like a good ethical stance. If I had to guess why Hassan was so adamant to dismiss the USA poll, even though it was conducted by Gallup, I'd imagine it's because his entire position here is hinging upon whether or not the annexation had majority support. Now, I've already said that I don't know which of these results is correct, but for me, it doesn't really matter. More enemies on the way! Because my argument would be this. Neither of these results would justify the annexation of Crimea. Part 2, is Putin literally... So, let's
I'm sorry, that was a random chance.
Let's assume that this result is correct. Okay, let's say this one's correct. Can we still say that the annexation of Crimea was wrong? Like, very, very wrong. Well, in my opinion, yes, and here's why. First, we have what I'll call the shit-lib argument, which is that the Crimean referendum was insanely illegal. It was illegal under both the Ukrainian and Crimean constitutions and under international law. Whatever the will of the people living there, the idea of rolling tanks in and holding a referendum at gunpoint should probably be off the table. You might run into some logistical problems like a referendum that essentially only offers the same option twice. Your military presence might make it difficult for people to communicate with polling agencies, and much more importantly, you've declared yourself a security threat. If you're willing to violate one international principle, what other boundaries will you cross? In the case of Crimea, the Russians conscripted over 25,000 residents, blocked traffic in the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov, resulting in disruptions to the Ukrainian economy, and they ultimately ended up using the peninsula as a key area to prepare for the invasion. Secession is never a decision that should be taken lightly, especially when it's being done unilaterally and without international recognition. That's why the same lib cucks who opposed the annexation of Crimea were also right to oppose Donald Trump when he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Even though someone who is pro-Israel could have just as easily argued that Jerusalem should be the capital on the grounds of its population being majority Jewish. Do you see what I did there? Because America's bad. Just remembering my audience. Now, you could say that many borders around the world are far from perfect. That's definitely
do you
true.
think the sorceress will be back
But
soon?
compared to most of our
We're
history,
doing
Europe
pretty
has
well
been
on our
relatively
own.
peaceful
Hey,
over the
Kelsey,
last few decades.
how do you know
True.
so much
And
about
many
Rips
would
and the
argue
Order?
that a mutual
I
respect
study
for
all the
existing
time,
borders and
Egan.
sovereignty
I'd
has
like
played
to
a
know
very
all the
important part
answers.
of that.
Then tell me
And
why glue
I don't
doesn't
know
stick
about
to the
calling
inside
myself
of
a
the tube.
liberal, but I do think that argument sounds quite reasonable. Right?
Throw the question marks all you want. I don't give a about the Ukrainian constitution. I don't give a about the Ukrainian like border sovereignty that some of you dumbasses are talking about like you're like a 3%er but for Ukraine. Okay?
Jesus.
It's so stupid.
Oh. Well, okay. Maybe I have a better chance of getting through to you if I
Not
try a
enough
more
coins.
left-wing humanitarian approach. Namely, the protection of minority rights.
Enemies are
Very
preparing
easy
to breach
hypothetical.
one of our gates.
If tomorrow
Orc
a
archers.
poll found out
They
that
have pretty long-range
99% of
attacks.
Americans decided
Yep.
they wanted to
I remember from
bomb
simulations.
Wyoming, should they be allowed to do it? No. So that was easy.
Well,
I don't
that is
think anyone would say that democracy would be meaningfully harmed in that decision. Democratic will isn't everything, especially when human rights are at stake. When it comes to Crimea, even if a majority of them wanted to join Russia, it's probably worth pausing to remember that 12% of the people living there are Muslim Tatars. And I know Hassan has heard about that.
Anyone else?
First and foremost, belongs to the Crimean Tatars. Okay? Crimea has historically been an autonomous region, a kingdom at a certain point.
Now
Okay?
that's an orc stop.
Own right.
An autonomously ran region does not mean that they get to secede from another country, though, right? Like, I think there was an agreement in place that Crimea
Yeah,
ran kind
looking
of
good.
autonomously. But like, same thing with Kurdistan in Iraq, right? I think they have like the is it
That's
called the
the
KRG,
stuff.
the Kurdistan regional government. Like, I think Hong Kong and Taiwan are technically autonomous, like they administer themselves, but that doesn't mean that
Our enemies are breaking through elsewhere. They've breached another door.
If there is a long list of
Here they come.
groups or nations that Crimea belongs to, number one group of individuals that Crimea belongs to is the Tatars. Number two individuals that Crimea belongs to by way of Crimean Khanate is the Turks. And number three group of individuals that Crimea belongs to is the Russians, because the Kurds, the Tatars, and now the Russians live there. Okay. Maybe number four, Greece. Fuck it. Give it to Greece instead. And then number 5 on there is Ukraine. Okay? Number 5 is Ukraine. This idea that you have any sort of f***ing sovereignty and any sort of like constitutional sovereignty that needs to be held together. Crimea belongs to Mongolia before it belongs to Ukraine.
I hope that works.
So Ukraine number 6 in that situation. Okay?
Yep, all good.
The idea that like it belongs to Ukraine blows my fucking mind. It just blows my mind. You can say bad cake all you want, brother. You can say bad piece of cake all you want.
Okay. I know I said this would be a good faith criticism, but I really do think I'm being proportionate here when I say this is one of the craziest things I've ever heard someone say on the internet. I'm pretty sure he's just memeing when he says Greece. Okay. But my real question is, why the fuck would purging the Tatars and importing Russians be a good reason for Russia to have a stronger claim over Crimea than Ukraine? Bearing in mind that Crimea only became a Russian majority after the ethnic cleansing policies of Stalin, is that the rule now? We get to do imperialism today based on the fact that it happened in the past? And not to mention, if Hassan really does think that Crimea primarily belongs to the Tatars, maybe he could have checked in to see how they felt about the annexation. And I say that not just because of the ways they were historically treated by Russia, but also because of the way they're currently being treated by Russia. The human rights abuses endured by the Tatars since 2014 have already been fairly well documented. These have included, but are not limited to, physical attacks, enforced disappearances, the banning of Tatar media, the banning of the Tatar executive body, detention and fines for single-ticket protesters, and baseless terrorism-related prosecutions. If you remember this slide from earlier in the video, the victim of that one extrajudicial execution was a Tatar activist called Reshat Amatov. In March 2014, he was abducted by Russian paramilitaries after holding up a Ukrainian flag in front of the Crimean parliament as a lone
This will
protester.
catch him off guard.
2 weeks later, he was found dead. Forensics reported that he had been tortured and most likely died of brain damage after one of his eyes was gouged out. This is why you can't just look at polling numbers to justify the action. The fact that the Tatars boycotted the referendum should have been an obvious warning sign when the Russians invaded. Much in the same way, a majority of Austrians supporting the Anschluss should have been very easily dismissed on the grounds that over 180,000 Austrians at the time were Jews. Wait, did I just mention the Anschluss? Oh,
And Hitler invaded countries based on Germanic ties at first? Yeah, dude. Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians in a fucking... What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians.
Bro, these were some of the wildest Hassan takes I've ever heard in my entire life. This shit was just... What is even happening?
Concentration camp, okay? Hitler wasn't bad because he decided to invade Austria. He was bad because he was killing Jews, okay? That was the problem. He wasn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna annex territory with like Germanic people in it. That wasn't the main problem with Hitler, I think.
So
he does qualify with I think.
Who Hassan has been talking to here, but I'd imagine whoever he's arguing with would actually say something like, "This one thing is bad, and this one thing is worse." Let's just put it this way. If someone asked you to list all the European leaders of the last 100 years who started by annexing territory on the grounds of uniting blood and soil, then followed up by invading a neighboring country, I'm just saying it's a small club. And is it a coincidence that in both cases, annexation was followed up by a full-scale invasion? Well, not really. In both cases, annexation served as a way of gauging how much could be gotten away with. It's a kind of testing of the water. That's why the world leaders at the time of the Anschluss were typically accused of underreacting and something appeasement towards Hitler's actions. With the exception of one giga-chad Mexican president, of course. But anyway, we're talking about Hassan, so let's move on. Part 3, Ukrainian language laws. For this section, I'll be looking directly at one of Hassan's responses to Adam Something when he plays a segment discussing the language laws in Ukraine. And what I think would be useful here would be to watch what Adam says first, and then pause to ask ourselves what we've just heard. Once we've done that, we can hear Hassan's response and then see if there are any problems.
Eastern Ukrainians were horrified at what they saw as a far-right seizure.
God, I hated this fucking video. Oh my god, this is such a horrible video. Oh.
Of power. With veneration of Bandera and elimination of equal recognition for languages like Russian.
Service industry workers have since January been obliged to ask customers in Ukrainian unless clients specifically ask to switch. My work, my employees, and my taxes. Some of your bloody business.
Manipulation and word choice. The U.S. recognized the experiment was full of foreign people. The Easterners were horrified at what they saw as a far-right seizure of power. The elimination of Russian as an equal language. The use of emotional, loaded language.
This will catch him off guard.
So, what is Adam saying here? It sounds as if he's commenting on Gravel's use of emotionally loaded language when discussing problems with Ukraine. Particularly, the elimination of equal recognition for languages like Russian. Next, we saw a clip of a woman who now had to speak Ukrainian when speaking to her customers, unless they specifically asked for Russian. Then we hear a suggestion that Gravel is exaggerating the severity of Ukraine's language laws, and he argues this by stressing their use of the word elimination. Maybe he thinks they're dancing a little too close to the words of the Kremlin, who have described the laws as an outright ban of the Russian language. but that's just my guess. Now, so far, Adam has not commented on whether he thinks the Ukrainian language laws are good or bad. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a minute. But let's go back to where Hassan paused.
Oh, please, dude, go ahead. Oh, no, he's not going to say, like, eradication of language and like, actually, most of the language laws are actually really good. Let's hear it. Please, go ahead. Is he going to say that about the Turkish government doing that to Kurds? Yeah.
There are enemies in our rip
crew. The Kurdish people, I'm sure, was when the Turkish government decided, you know, language is illegal. If you speak Kurdish, we will fucking, you know, arrest you.
So Adam has just criticized Gravel for using emotionally loaded terms like elimination, and Hassan clearly disagrees. He goes so far as to call it the eradication of language, and then goes on to talk about the banning of Kurdish by the government in Turkey. Maybe we should find out what's going on. In 2019, the Rada approved a law which granted special status to the Ukrainian language. The law obliged all citizens to know the Ukrainian language, made it mandatory for public sector workers to speak Ukrainian while performing official duties, required that 90% of TV and film content be in Ukrainian, required for at least 50% of books and print media to be in Ukrainian, obliged print media outlets in foreign languages to print Ukrainian equivalents, and required computer software interfaces and scientific publications to be in Ukrainian. Parts of the law did make exceptions for indigenous minority groups like the Tatars, as well as English and EU languages, but not for Russian. So I don't think I need to convince a left-wing audience that this looks pretty bad. And it's easy to see why the law has been criticized by Human Rights Watch, the European Union's Venice Commission, and even the then newly elected president and frequent Russian speaker, Vladimir Zelensky.
Yeah, that's true.
However, what the law is absolutely not is a purge or elimination. In fact, even when the Venice Commission did criticize it, they only targeted specific aspects of the law, but ultimately supported its overall principle, and it even previously recommended a state language law for Ukraine. So you might wonder, why did Ukraine do this? Was it because their government was full of Russia-hating fascists? No. I know this irritates some people, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it's true. Ukraine is a country with a very rough history. Whether it was Catherine the Great, girl boss smashing the culture of the Ukrainian Cossacks, the EMS Act in 1876, which banned all publishing in the Ukrainian language, Stalin's purge of Ukraine's cultural leaders, the resettlement of Russians and Belarusians into eastern Ukraine after the Holodomor famine. There's a lot going on here. More recently, Ukraine has had the issue of Kremlin-backed outlets broadcasting propaganda on Ukrainian TV and radio stations, particularly in parts of the country with large Russian-speaking populations, like Crimea and the Donbass. Part of their strategy in the current invasion has even involved the capturing of transmission towers and replacing Ukrainian news programs with pro-Russian broadcasts. Naturally, with 8 years of conflict in the east, Ukrainian concerns about Russian propaganda in their country has become a bit more pronounced. Even Zelensky, despite his more liberal stance on the Russian language, banned 3 of these outlets in 2021. So yes, there were legitimate problems with these laws. But if there's any country in Europe that has a good reason to want to promote its national language, it's probably Ukraine. And to even think of comparing it to the very real purge of the Kurdish language in Turkey is frankly insane. Because the last time I checked, Turkey was not living in fear of being invaded by some Kurdish-speaking superpower. The dying empire of Kurdistan was not systematically propagandizing and fomenting unrest within Turkey's borders.
Then I
You
will
get
tell
the
you the
point.
tale.
Bearing in mind, the clip we watched in the Gravel video was of a woman who was allowed to speak Russian if her customers requested.
That's the stuff.
But even when a chatter tries to challenge him on this point, Hassan doubles down on the Turkey comparison again.
The law is that you greet in Ukrainian, you can speak Russian, no problem. You got, man. Brother, I come from a country that literally has similar fucking couched language in their legislative agenda. It is so weird, dude. Like, it's so weird when you just completely overlook. When you completely overlook something. It's like saying, point to where the racism is in the law. I'm sorry, nothing bars black people from voting. It's actually just grandfather laws. It just means if your grandfather was not allowed to vote, you're not allowed to vote. It doesn't say black people can't vote. Why are you doing that? You don't have to do that. And especially if it's not that big of a deal, then there's no reason for that legislation to pass. Okay? I'm not mixing issues, okay?
Well, you are mixing issues. Unless you think the Human Rights Commission would support the sentiment behind grandfather clauses or the persecution of the Kurds. Like, how did this happen? I can only assume that Hassan didn't know the specifics of Ukraine's laws, and he definitely hasn't thought about the context behind them. Did he just hear the words language law and then jump to the first country he could think of that also has a language law? Is this the foreign policy equivalent of throwing someone a football
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
With a golf club?
They've broken through a gate.
Whoa.
The
That
Azov
ogre seems
Battalion.
bigger out here in the wild.
So
And remember, if he hits
there
you,
are
he
a
will
million
stun
ways
you.
we can address this issue. I do want to focus on something specific, but I know Hassan cares a lot about this one, so I'm going to cover a few bases.
Shouldn't have messed with
The
me.
argument here is that the Ukrainian military has incorporated groups like the Azov Battalion into its ranks, and as a consequence, any support we give to them will also strengthen and embolden their far-right presence. And obviously, I could just respond
There
with
are
the
enemies
usual
in our
memes,
rift
like,
room.
the extent to which Ukrainians have neo-Nazi sympathies is extremely overstated. Data from Pew Research found that anti-Semitic attitudes were lower in Ukraine than anywhere else in the region. I could mention that the far-right's electoral presence has all but collapsed since 2014. And of course, we could mention that the Azov Battalion's numbers are currently estimated to be at about 900, suggesting that a good number of them have already died fighting under a Jewish president in some kind of based Operation Nazi Human Shield. Too far? And then we have the right sector, who
Now
once
that's
claimed to
an
have up to
orthodox.
5,000 fighters, although this number is almost definitely exaggerated because fascists always lie about their numbers. But even if we believe him, I think it's safe to assume that 6,000 fighters out of an army of 200,000 probably won't be enough for a
Let's do
far-right
it.
power grab. However,
I agree it's terrible, but there's only 1,000 members, so it seems tiny and not worth getting mad over. It's not just 1,000 members, man. Ukrainian far-right nationalism, ultra-nationalism is incredibly prominent. Shut the fuck up. And also, these 1,000 people, the number keeps...
Where are they? Where are all these far right? Why is there far right? Why did you say so? Like, show me where they are. Where are these people hiding? Don't give me fucking pictures of some people using fucking Nazi symbols, bro. I can find just as much shit as probably any military on the fucking planet. Like,
getting smaller and smaller, okay? But they're not the only battalion. They're just the one that got the most coverage, okay? And also, it's 1,000 people that we armed. We did the same exact thing with the Mujahideen. We did the same exact thing with the...
how can you even compare arming small fucking, like, non-state recognized terrorist groups or whatever as the same as giving some money to a government that might have some people in the military that are far right? Like, what?
Yeah, looking good.
Contras. Oh, it's just a couple thousand people.
okay. Can I predict 100% that this won't turn out like it did with the Contras or the Mujahideen? No. What I can do is list quite a few important differences.
Get it going.
The Contras and the Mujahideen were anti-government rebels who were funded with the explicit purpose of undermining their governments in their own country. Their rise to power was not some unintended backlash.
It was the goal.
And this distinction kind of matters because if we are supporting the
You know what?
Azov
I've been leading the stream because I watch all these videos in advance. I do pre-watch. That's what I do. I'm sorry. I pre-watch and it just comes out. Okay? I pre-watch it all. I pre-watch some of my debates before they even happen. I pre-watch them. Okay? I'm sorry. I admit it. I'm a pre-watcher. Okay? I'm a pre-watcher.
They're only empowered because we're also supporting the Ukrainian military, who the fascists would have to defeat in order to gain power. Then, I would say the Contras, being a foreign-backed anti-government rebel group, would have a bit more in common with the Russian-backed separatist group in the Donbass, but that's just me. And if you want to talk about the Mujahideen, well, first of all, there were just a lot more of them. the problem with the Mujahideen is that we're comparing a modern developed nation like Ukraine to one of the most politically fractured nations in the region. Groups like the Mujahideen and also the Taliban didn't just owe their success to foreign backing. They also owed it to the existence of a power vacuum that has no equivalent in Ukraine. And you kind of need that equivalent
Do
for
I
this
get to be
comparison
called buddy
to
now?
work.
Sure.
What I think Hassan is guilty of doing here is he's taking the phrase, the US is supporting the Ukrainian military, some of whom are fascists, turning it into the US is arming fascists, and then linking it to all the familiar stories like Pinochet, the Contras, Operation Gladio, and all the other ones. But of course, foreign policy has changed quite a bit since the Cold War, and that old template of America funds fascist rebel groups with the explicit aim of crushing socialist governments doesn't really fit. And maybe it's worth asking, if the Azov battalion ever does decide to turn on Zelensky and try to take over, who do you think the United States will back in that situation? And if you know the answer to that question, any attempt to force this situation under the lens of Cold War containment policy kind of falls apart. But in any case, what is the alternative here? Because I know Hassan doesn't believe we should stop helping Ukraine.
Wait, who was that?
Enemies at the rift!
I'm getting the hang of this.
Get back inside.
That'll work. Ready to roll.
They're almost there!
Vigor is one of the stats in Elden Ring. Stats refer to various properties that govern your character's strengths and weaknesses, as well as how they are affected by interactions in and out of combat. Vigor primarily affects a player's HP.
There are enemies in our rift room!
It's dead.
Hey, okay, did we figure it out?
Enemies at the rift! They're entering the rift.
Oh!
We're on fire.
Well, it looks like all that aid we're sending to Palestinians is ending up in the hands of extremists. Therefore, we should stop giving money and aid to Palestinians.
Who's saying don't give aid to Ukraine? Like, who the f*** is out here being like, do not help Ukraine at all?
Well,
do not help Ukraine at all. Who is giving guns to f***ing Hamas in this comparison in the same way? Is the CIA training Hamas? Is the CIA giving guns to Hamas?
Okay, so my question here would be, how would we stop?
What is that noise?
DGG.
Also, yes, that subreddit is.
Vigor.
Stop! It's very down bad.
No principio. Quando de escrio sui iter. Iter estava sem forma e sem ordem. Era mar profundo coberto de escuridão. Mas sobre as águas parava o espírito de Deus. E talvez de sé, qual was exista. E elas como é que existir.
Hello.
The Contras and the Mujahideen were anti-government rebels who were funded with the experiments.
Hi.
Or it was not sanctioned.
It is as I feared. We are not facing something new, but something very old.
Oh, hi, welcome back. We've just been killing orcs and stuff. No big deal.
What are you up to?
You get that
Okay,
green
so
ring around your
what's the
chat. to
deal
go
with
away.
these strange rifts?
The green ring
First,
around my
stop
chest.
this next
What
assault.
were your
Then I will tell you the tale.
colorblind?
Wait, I don't know. Why did this start? Where did this come from?
I don't know.
Wait, does it happen on your
looking
computer?
good.
I had it happen earlier today, and I just had to close it because I didn't know how to fix it.
Let her rip.
OBS?
OBS thing? No, it's an OBS thing. Also, it is yellow.
All right, let's go.
What's up?
Did you talk to Nick at all today?
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
I didn't really know we were even doing in Tombs Square today.
They've broken through a gate.
Whoa.
Well, aren't we doing
That
a
ogre
quest
seems
for
bigger out here in the
materials?
wild.
Okay, I feel like
And remember, if he hits you, he will stun you.
this is starting to get dragged.
Yeah. I mean, I said it in the group chat. I think that we have probably 3 to 5 episodes, hopefully maximum left. I don't think
And
our
now
characters
it's
will
like
be doing the quest.
3 to 5 months.
Yeah, I don't think our characters will even be doing the quest. I think that our other guys.
Well, because it feels like stuff that shouldn't be that crazy, but now it sounds like we're gonna have to go into like the lair of like a worm in order to find like, the material to make like potions or something.
Yeah, it's like I like the campaign a lot, but I feel like if we keep doing this,
well, like, cause right now, like
boring combat episodes, it's gonna lose its like what little charm, you know?
yeah, and then also like as strong as we are, whatever quest there is to get these materials has to be trivial, right? So Koibu is either going to design something incredibly trivial.
Okay, here I come.
It's easy, or it's going to be like weird, like there's like a
More
level
enemies
400
on the
dragon you
way!
have to kill, and it's like, wait, what, for a fucking oil of acid resistance or for a fire potion? Like really? That's how hard it is to make.
Yeah.
I would say
that,
we should just call for some. If it's gonna take like 3 months and we're gonna be waiting anyway, we should just tell.
Well, I thought that was like the plan. I thought that the plan was like our forces are gonna slowly move up and we're gonna do some crazy time skips. And then the campaign's gonna end in like 35 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's not sounding like that.
Yeah, or it's sounding like.
I think
because now we're gonna kill the dragon.
5 episodes.
Yeah, now we're gonna kill the dragon, which sounds like it could take 2 or 3 episodes. Now we're going on quests for ingredients for fire potions. Then we're gonna do whatever scory or whatever comes up at the time. Then we're gonna have the big march to where then we're gonna fight her. So we're looking at like maybe
like our characters are never getting stronger when we kill this next dragon.
I feel like
we might
can
gain
start
one more
hand
level,
waving a
maybe?
bunch of stuff at that point. Yeah, once we kill the green dragon, I think we'll gain 1 level. And then I think we should pretty much hand wave and roll dice until we get to Scoria's lair.
Yeah,
And
or
then
however we want
maybe
to set
do
that
like
up.
the clip. Yeah, do the crawl. But I feel like if we add another 10 or 20 episodes, it's just gonna be boring for not just only the chat, but for us.
Yeah.
Because
Like even the last.
I hate mass combat. It sucks.
Yeah. It
More enemies.
It sounds like it'd be cool. But
no,
the
it was
current way that
good
it's
one
played-
time. I think when we went to do the free the cities, because that's like the anime moment where you come back and you're so strong, and then you can see like how strong the characters have gotten after Glacier.
Yeah.
You discover the dragons. and everything. That was fun, I think.
Yeah, that was fun.
But having us kill like literally like 100 NPCs.
100 NPCs there. I like. Well, I've only heard of this way. I like the 4th edition way of doing some of this mass combat, where you just give characters stat blocks, but you give them 1 HP. So if you're like a heroic character or whatever, you can kind of just, if you hit them, they die, and move on to the next one. That sounds cooler, but
Yeah, and then also like the having 400 characters rolling dice to see who hits 20 is still really lame.
yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think we have any more mass combats ahead of us at least, right?
Well, it depends. Every dragon could be mass combat, depending on, you know, what he's got planned.
More
I
enemies
mean, monsters
on
are
the way.
usually at least okay.
Yeah, because they have higher to hit.
Well, and because usually they're a little more interesting.
Like, yeah. Sitting on you. I want to play League together again. It's kind of hard. Maybe it's better for you.
Or if I put in a Twitch and then I'm not leaving for a month.
Well, I'm gonna be doing my scamathon, so we can hang out, but I'll just
Stay down.
on my end, I think that's allowed.
What
Anyone else?
Wait, you'll be doing a scamathon when?
Starts tomorrow. I'm gonna be playing scary games the first day, because it's Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, I'm leaving on the 14th and then I'm back on the 20th. So you'll be done.
I'll be done or down?
Get it going.
Done. How long do you think it is?
I don't know. Last time I thought it'd go on for 2 days, and it went on for almost a month, and I had to kill it myself, so...
Wait, your last summon lasted for a month?
It went on for at least 2 to 3 weeks, and then I forcibly stopped it.
I thought it was like 10 or 11 days.
No, I think I was at like day 18. But yeah. This time there will be no scam. I'll let it go on as long as it will.
Careful.
This time I have
Careful.
No, I have a strong mental this time. Last time I was like, all right, 2 to 3 days max. We'll suck a little bit, it was fine. Wasn't expecting it. This time I'm ready for it. Are you coming to dinner tonight?
Did you win?
They're attacking a barricade.
Well, we had our thing that you signed for. I don't want to talk about yesterday, so we couldn't do dinner yesterday.
I'm feeling this.
And then I had
More enemies on the way.
That's all good. Who are you talking to today? Who's on the menu?
Our chat's favorite Nazi. They actually like her now more because they hate Britain. I think they only super hate
No,
one
they
woman
love
at
all
a time.
women. Yes, they do. What happened with that? Well, you know, you made a few comments.
Oh, we don't hate too far. We don't think we're having no ironic or unironic discussion. Run it back. We're gonna shit on men at the time.
Absolutely. Men suck too. Well, that would be me saying what I'm saying. Where's Dan? Is he actually in France? I saw him tweet about being in Paris. I think he's out of, but I couldn't tell if that was a me.
would be the kind of guy to be in Paris, wouldn't he?
Go to Paris with Dan.
Yeah. Volkswagen.
Which one's won't even go to a restaurant?
One for team or
That was the joke.
Since you're on YouTube now, I can say memes, right?
Yeah, you can say.
I can be like, I'm gonna come upstairs right now with a gun and fucking murder you.
No!
Oh, in a video game.
You can't have guns on stream.
Okay. That's the one ban.
The one more restrictive thing
That's
on
the one
YouTube than
thing.
Twitch.
Don't they allow videos with guns?
But yeah, but you can't be live streaming
Live
with a
streaming.
gun live. You can post videos of you with guns, but you can't stream live with a
So there was someone on YouTube who killed himself with a gun. No,
gun. Well, there have been a few people on Facebook Live and shit. I don't know about you. Was Christchurch live stream?
I believe it was. That's like why all the 4chaners.
I know there were videos. I'm trying to remember if it was on Facebook.
Has there been any crazy shit on Twitch live stream? Just goes to Facebook, no?
Oh yeah.
Just movies, right? Movies. When's the gaming arc happening again?
The story of Master Cygnus is known to all.
Oh, Master Cygnus taught my hero Maximilian.
Yes, he tried to teach
JRPG,
your
much
hero.
literal.
He was my teacher as well.
didn't you turn evil for?
Don't test me.
Sorry, sorceress.
What is not known is the story of his best friend, the elf Vorwick.
The next
Human
game
and
arc
elf fought
needs to
side
be
by side, the most talented war mages of
That's
the
what all the
Order.
kids are playing these
Before
days.
infighting forced the Horde into small factions, they
Apex
used
is
massive
unkillable.
traps
Okay,
and
that game
defeated
has
the largest
risen
orc
twice
armies.
to greater heights. Every
Cygnus and
I'll
Vorwick
give
were
it
the
another
best
try.
young
I
war
just
mages of their
love
generation.
the gunplay not being.
But when their final
And it's
test
perfect
came,
because it fits for Yumi and Dan.
Only
Three of
one
us,
of
the
them
three
would
amigos.
pass.
True. 3 brothers.
The three, well, the two sons and the dad. Okay, Dan's a little bit up there, you know.
Dan's only 3 years older than you, right?
Oh, I think he's like 4. Rounds up to 5. He's basically dead.
He's almost in his 40s, yeah.
I think he rounds up to his 40s, yeah.
That's good.
True.
Are we gonna live stream at his funeral? How are we gonna do that?
Good question, dude. Is anybody gonna live stream their funeral? Maybe, man.
Here we are once again, friend Vorwick, fighting the largest orc armies ever assembled.
I welcome it, friend Cygnus.
Yeah, I did.
I
You have 6
am
fingers?
curious about what drives the orcs. You must admit, they are far more willing to die
have
for
6
their
fingers?
cause than our own
I
order
don't.
mages.
But I just don't know.
They're
what a 6
definitely stubborn, or perhaps just stupid.
Maybe once you kill
Maybe it was
the
like
second moot, maybe you
Nonetheless,
took his finger.
their numbers are
I don't
no
even
match
understand
for
the
my
two-move theory. It
strength
doesn't even make sense
and
to me.
your
It's not even a good one.
knowledge
There's not
of
even a
rift
theory. It's
magic.
just like a few words that people have said.
This could stop an army.
How do you like the Vampire Survivor game?
It's okay. It gets a little bit boring.
Is there
but-
anything new? I haven't played in a while. Heard there was like some updates.
I don't know. Is there, guys?
What game is this?
The last one.
Meet them with force.
No. Darkest Dungeon. Wasn't for me. This looks like it.
This has nothing
Well,
to do
it doesn't
with
look like it.
You're so dumb.
So dumb.
You're such a dumb guy.
A master's war machine.
Nice. Did you hear that horn outside?
No, we're on different sides of the building.
Oh,
What if someone bombed our building? Get us both.
yeah, that would be pretty bad, man. Why are you giving people ideas?
That would be bad.
True, it would be.
Be bad for you.
Yeah?
Not as bad for me.
Why?
I
You're not gonna
love this
die if you get
device.
bombed, or?
Oh, everybody, I am Diamond now. So I'm gonna start getting some fucking respect around here.
Is that how are they gonna respect you? now?
Yes. Yes, that's what it is. Why they don't respect you?
This
Some-
will surprise them.
But when I go in there, they
Now they're
they're
gonna be
yes.
like,
Ah, our leader has arrived. When are we starting a restaurant in Miami? That's the real question.
As soon as Dan's ready, right? Isn't that who we're waiting on?
Yeah, Dan's gonna bankroll it. We're gonna be the cooks. 24/7 live streams.
Base.
The restaurant. I don't want a red name. Me and Dan like our yellow names.
What do you mean by that?
Stop.
Stop what?
You don't want to start a restaurant. It's way too much fucking work. Well, I can tell you that we could half-ass it and still make a better restaurant than anybody fucking here.
Maybe true. Because Miami's pretty...
Crust is okay. Miami's dog shit.
All right, let's play.
I had a good meal. Hold on.
Just saying. Don't even run it by me. Just say the name. I don't want to hear it.
I did it.
Show nuts. I thought you had an actual funny thing.
Don't let Destiny. I can't be there. Fuck. Alright. Have you disclosed where you're going on a trip? Can you disclose it? Any IRL streams for us?
You know, anything can happen.
At least you don't lie to him.
Anything can happen. You know, who knows? We'll see.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
Heavy orcs. This should be fun.
Do not take them for granted. They are a bit meaner than their smaller counterparts. Worthy foe. That hurt. Very good. An excellent location. Yes, I'm ready. do that.
Our enemies, they're breaking through again!
Ouchie. That's not possible.
Our enemies are attacking!
Owie. Who's next? This could stop an army. I love this device.
The enemy army is attacking!
My mana is draining.
Look out! Our enemies are attacking!
Down. I need more mana. cannot.
They're breaking through!
Not sorry to see that one gone. A master's war machine. Here's where they will fall. No better spot than here. More coins are needed. I'm ready to start.
Enemies are attacking!
A vile creature, dead.
Enemy forces are attacking!
Why we just dudes?
The barricade is under attack! They've destroyed a barricade! Our enemies are attacking! They've broken through a gate! Here they come!
Perhaps one of these. Another threat vanquished. Perfection. This should work. Let's have fun. Ah, our old friend Crag has shown up to fight.
We should remove him quickly. He will disable the traps.
Not sorry to see that one gone. That hurt. I made a mistake. Oh, hello again.
Enemies at the rift! They're entering the rift! Ow! They're almost there!
Well, that was it. I'm low on mana. Are we done already?